Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the NSCAC Presents Behind the Bench. My name is Valerio Rocca. I'm today's host. I'm the Vice President of the NSCAC, and today we'll be discussing the defending principles of play. Tony, who is our Technical Director of the NSCAC, welcome again. It was nice. It's nice having you again. We had a great discussion last week on the attacking principles of play. And today, Tony's going to walk through and discuss the defending principles of play. So, Tony, welcome, and how are things?
Things are well, Valerio. Things are well. Staying home, drinking lots of wine, and trying to stay out of trouble.
Trying to keep busy. So we had a nice discussion last week. It was a lot of good principles, a lot of good ideas, a lot of good philosophies. And now this week we're going to be talking about how we can apply the same kind of ideas only to the defensive side of the game, or the defensive responsibilities that players have.
Yeah, I think, like we said last week, are we on, Valerio? Can we start the thing?
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, I'm not able to share the screen, though. I don't know why. Is it me, or do I need to do something?
Can you see the button now? The share screen at the bottom?
Here it is. Yes. Thank you, Valerio. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. All right. Here it is. Yes, here it is. I can do it now. Yeah. So like I was saying, we had a really interesting discussion last week, as you said. The one thing about that I've noticed, over my years of coaching and dealing with coaches is that, unfortunately, many of them are not familiar with the principles of play, or they don't think that they are important when it comes to teaching the kids how to play the game properly. And so most of the time, they will skip over it. They will focus on the technique, which is of utmost importance, no question about that. But they will very seldom touch the principles of play in the attacking phase and the defending phase. And as we said last week, the principles of play are essential concepts and ideas for fundamental effective soccer. If you don't understand the principles of play, the attacking and defending principles of play as a coach and as a player, you will not perform in the most effective manner. Yeah, you'll be okay, but those little things that happen in the game that you will not be able to recognize, and you will not be able to apply. So we'll start the conversation, and we'll see how far we go. We may have to go into a penalty shootout today. I've been checking this thing, and it might be just slightly over the 1 hour, but we'll see what happens. So the principles of team play are a set of norms, a set of guide, I guess, that provide the players with the possibility of making the correct decision to any problem that will arise during the course of a game, right? If players are usually, most of the time, they're fit. Nowadays there's a lot of fitness component in the game. They're very well coached when it comes to skills and technique, but many of them do not understand the game. When I say about understanding the game, what I mean is they do not know how to play the game when they don't have the ball. And like we said last week, one player has the ball, all of the other ones are trying to figure out what to do. Are we attacking? Okay, what is my responsibility as an individual player, as part of a group, whether you're the defending group or the midfielder or the forwards? And what is the responsibility of the team as a whole? What kind of decisions do we make, and how do we make those decisions? Based on what, right? The game of soccer is a very complex environment, very complex. Somebody used to say at one time, well, soccer is a simple game. Well, it's not simple. Soccer is a very complicated, very complex game, only because of the size of the field, the size of the space, and the number of people that are participating in the contest, right? A right fullback, the view that a right fullback has of the picture that he takes during the course of a game is different than what the left fullback sees. So they all see different things on the field, right? But they all need to make the correct decisions. How do they come to that decision will depend on their understanding of the principles of play, right? If they understand the principles of play, they can read the situation and decide based on whether they have the ball or they don't have the ball, based on what their next movement is going to be. It will also enable them to anticipate what the next move might be. So they'll be able to make better decisions, right? Like I said before, the game of soccer is a very complex game. It's a very chaotic environment, right? The frequency, everything changes. Every time the ball changes, the picture changes. The frequency of this changes, the order in which they change. And during the game situation, it's very difficult to predict. You don't know what's going to happen from 5 seconds from now, right? You could try to predict it. You could try to understand it, but you cannot say for certain that this is what's going to happen, right? And because the game it's so unpredictable, and because players need to make decisions all the time, there is the one thing that keeps that allows the players to make the correct decision, that will guide them towards making the correct decision. And these guides are the principles of team play. And as we go through this, it might be easier to understand, my concept, right? All of the players that understand the principles of play will be able to defend better. Will be able to defend better as a single player, as a unit, and as a team as a whole, right? They will be able to make better decisions on the ball and off the ball, right? They will be able to do all of that. I have experienced over the course of my coaching coaching career, players that I have had the pleasure of coaching some really intelligent players, but they were not technically very good, but they were intelligent players, when it came to understanding the game. And they never had a bad game. They never had a bad game. Yeah, they made a bad pass, or their skills didn't take them far, but because they were able to make the good decisions, they were contributing to the team in a different way, right? So I'm hoping that the coaches will start teaching the defending and the attacking principles of play. They'll be a little bit more consistent with that, with all the players. All right, so let's go. So last week we talked about the concept of time and space as we apply it to the game of soccer, right? We'll go into an example really quickly. We're just reviewing it from last week, but in a short form, if you will, when you're denying time and space, you are forcing the opposition to make decisions quicker, right? When you're defending and you're denying time and space, you're forcing the opposition to make better decision and quicker. When you have the ball, then you're trying to create time and space for.
Thank you for watching this short preview video from the National Soccer Coaches Association of Canada. To see the full video, plus have access to hundreds of other coaching videos, blogs, webinars, and podcasts, plus free and discounted coach education courses and other soccer merchandise, plus to have exclusive access to register for all future NSCAC conventions, both live and online, click on the link below to become a member of the NSCAC today. Also, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as your continued support allows us to continue to provide coach education and coach development resources to soccer coaches across Canada and worldwide. Thank you again for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing you at future NSCAC events.